All right, in this video, I'm going to show you how to take your floor plan from tracing paper to finished product. And there's several ways you could do this. You can put your tracing paper down on something like this. This is a light board. You know, what I did while I was in college, I threw, this tracing paper floor plan on a glass table, and then I shined a 99-cent light underneath it. And then I taped this down, and I went ahead and traced these lines in ink. That took some time. So I decided to skip all that and essentially just taking this, photocopying it, and tracing over these lines because it's still to scale. And if you don't believe me, everything lines up perfectly. So I will show you how to properly do these, trace this so it looks like a pretty sweet finished product. So first things first, I'm going to tape this down, and I don't have to worry about smudging any of this work because it's ink, it's off a photocopy. I will be using my pigment liners, and I will be using my Flair pen, and I might use my Sharpie, but this bleeds a lot, and so I don't want this bleeding beyond the borders. This is pretty well controlled, so I'll use that. Typically what I'll do is I will use something like this. So I don't know if you can see, there is a 0.05, 0.1, 0.03, this is a 0.02, 0.05, 0.08, different size pigment liners. And all I'm gonna do is show you how to go over it and make it look professional. All right, so I'll just start off with this line. Now what you wanna do is you want to kind of test to see if this will work before you throw down the line. And so this works out. I'm going to throw down this line, and be careful about sliding your triangles. And I did this on purpose so you can see how much it smudges right there. That's not a big deal right now because I'm showing you how. But the easiest way to avoid that is to pick up your triangle. Now, I drew this line on purpose because I wanted to show you, well, one, if I go to do this line over here on this side of this wall, I'm going to smudge that line as well. And so now I would actually start here and work my way this way. And that way, any line work that I do won't be subject to smudging or smearing. Because my triangle is not crossing over.
You're using your fine pen?
So I'm using this pigment liner 0.02 scale just to get that line in there. Now I'm gonna wait till that dries, and typically while I'm waiting for this to dry, I'll do the other vertical lines. And then I'll rotate this to do these now vertical lines. But this is just a quick tutorial on how to do these. And so I forgot to do this middle line. I should have did that, but I didn't. That's okay. So now I want to line this up. And don't hold your pens down very long. If you hold your pen down too long, it'll start to bleed. And then you'll notice I picked that up a little too quick. So be careful of that. So now I'm going to do the horizontal lines. This does take some getting used to, so I would make several copies of your floor plan in case you do mess up, because, you know, this is your first time doing this, and the chance of messing up is probably a good chance. And that's okay. This is part of the learning process. All right, now that I got all that line work done, now I need to post shade these walls. And to do that, I like to use my flare pen. And I like to use it in such a way to where it's almost like sketching. And I'm just putting enough ink down next to the line that I just did. Again, you have to be careful with this process. If you've never done this before, it can get to where your lines look wavy, and try to avoid that at all costs. So I only get close to the original line that I did with this. I don't go on top, if that makes any sense. So if I was to draw a line with this, I do not go on top with my flare pen. I go away from it a little bit. All right, so now that I did a line that, or you know, these lines that kind of backed off with, I'm gonna go back with the Sharpie right in the middle, because this is quick, and you can see how that just filled all that in, and I'm not close to the edge, and that's kind of what I want. This is a little dark. This marker's a little dark, but it'll dry lighter. And then I'll just do the same thing. Come over here, use my flare pen. Again, I'm not going on top of my original line. I'm just getting close to it. You know, I'm leaving myself a margin of error in case, you know, my hand gets a little crazy. But I'm kind of used to this. So to me, it's really not that bad. Again, the Sharpie is very unforgiving. If you are uncomfortable with it, stick to your flare pen. But that's pretty much it. You want to use a thin pigment liner, probably 0.02, to do all the very fine lines. And you can even use the smaller ones for like furniture and stuff like that. But that's pretty much it. You want to fill all that in, so when you have your final product, it looks like this. And you can see how this photocopy is a little lighter. But you can see how it got darker and more vivid when I use the pigment liner. And that's it. That's the professional hack for making your floor plans look beautiful. All right, thank you.